What is happening, PumpTalk Nation? Get ready because we are diving headfirst into a whirlwind of the biggest stories hitting the headlines today. First up, straight from the White House, President Trump has just approved federal disaster aid for storms and flooding impacting 6 states and tribes. We're breaking down exactly who is getting help and the timeline behind these crucial declarations. Then, we're jetting over to the Venice Film Festival, where a powerful docudrama, The Voice of Hind Rajab, is leaving audiences speechless and winning major awards. This film is bringing the harrowing story of a young girl from Gaza to the global stage in a way that demands our attention. Next, the nation is grappling with the shocking events surrounding the murder of Charlie Kirk. We'll explore the latest developments, including the arrest of a suspect and the profound impact this tragedy is having across the country. We're also looking at how this moment could potentially unite America. And finally, we're going to connect all the dots, exploring the broader implications of these massive stories. What do these events mean for you, for us, for the nation? Stick around because this is PumpTalk News and you need to know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. President Trump approves disaster aid for 6 states. President Donald Trump has officially greenlit federal disaster aid for 6 states and several tribes grappling with severe storms and flooding that ravaged communities this past spring and summer. This significant move comes after disaster declarations were announced, paving the way for crucial federal funding to reach Kansas, North Carolina, North Dakota, Wisconsin, and tribal nations in Montana and South Dakota. What's particularly noteworthy is the trend of extended waiting periods for this aid. In most cases, it took President Trump over a month to approve these requests, a pattern highlighted by a recent Associated Press analysis. This delay, while White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson attributes it to a more thorough review to ensure taxpayer dollars are spent wisely, means individuals and local officials face prolonged uncertainty for recovery efforts, from temporary housing to rebuilding vital infrastructure. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, for example, requested aid for residents in 6 counties following August flooding that caused extensive damage, but Trump's approval only covered 3. Evers vows to continue pushing for the full scope of requested resources, emphasizing the urgent need for aid. While some officials like North Carolina Governor Josh Stein have expressed thanks, the situation underscores the complex and often lengthy process of disaster relief. Don't go anywhere, because the emotional impact of a new film is resonating deeply around the world. Next, we're heading to Venice for a story that is being called The Voice of Hind Rajab. The Voice of Hind Rajab, a haunting testimony from Gaza winds at Venice. A powerful docudrama titled The Voice of Hind Rajab, directed by Tunisian filmmaker Kayather Ben Hania, has captivated the Venice Film Festival, earning the prestigious Silver Lion Award and an unprecedented 23-minute standing ovation. The film centers on the final hours of 6-year-old Hind Rajab, who was killed alongside her family in Gaza. Her heart-wrenching 3-hour phone call with a Palestinian Red Crescent Society dispatcher, filled with fear and pleas for rescue, forms the haunting core of the docudrama. Director Ben Hania dedicated the award to the PRCS first responders, calling Hind's voice a global cry for help that went unanswered. The film uses the actual recordings of Hind's final calls, preserving her voice as a testament to the atrocities in Gaza. Ben Hania stressed that this is not just one child's story, but a representation of an entire people enduring genocide. The film's powerful message resonated deeply, with attendees seen weeping and chanting, "Free Palestine." The international attention was amplified by Hollywood A-listers like Brad Pitt and Joaquin Phoenix joining as executive producers. The docudrama, which reconstructs the events from the PRCS offices, highlights the desperate attempts to save Hind and the insurmountable obstacles faced. The film concludes with documentary footage of Hind's mother and home videos, leaving audiences profoundly shaken and carrying her story with them. This story is a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict, but another shocking event is shaking America to its core. We're turning our attention to the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the suspect now in custody. His voice will remain, Charlie Kirk's widow vows after suspect arrested. The nation is reeling following the arrest of a suspect in the tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk. While details of the suspect are emerging, the profound impact of Kirk's death continues to reverberate across the United States. Kirk, a private citizen known for his engaging dialogue and large following, was tragically killed, an event that has transcended political divides and is being compared to the impact of 9/11. His widow's vow that his voice will remain speaks to the enduring legacy he leaves behind. This assassination has laid bare the deep political violence present in the U.S., prompting widespread mourning and calls for unity. The circumstances surrounding his death, particularly the fact that he was a civilian and not a public official, highlight a disturbing new dimension to political extremism. As the investigation unfolds, the focus remains on how this tragedy will shape the national conversation and potentially bring Americans together in the face of such profound loss. But the question remains, can this tragedy truly unite a divided nation? We'll explore that next, as we examine how Charlie Kirk's murder is being framed as a moment for American unity. Jonathan Lange, Charlie Kirk's murder can unite America. In the wake of the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk, a powerful narrative is emerging that this tragedy could be a pivotal moment for national unity. Jonathan Lange, writing on the profound impact of Kirk's death, suggests that the shared grief and the transcending of political divides, reminiscent of the post-9/11 era, offer a unique opportunity for Americans to come together. Lange highlights the spontaneous outpouring of respect, such as the lowering of Old Glory to half-mast, as evidence of a common thread of mourning that binds the nation, even for a private citizen. He emphasizes that Kirk's superpower was his ability to engage in dialogue, drawing millions to hear his perspective. Lange posits that the forces seeking to silence such voices are the same ones that seek to stifle prayer and unity. He calls on Americans to overcome evil with good, urging them to extend love and prayers to all, regardless of political affiliation, and to recognize this moment not as another reason for division, but as a chance to unite. The core message is clear. If sources of information discourage prayer and encourage division, they should be rejected in favor of a unifying spirit, inspired by Kirk's ability to connect with people from all walks of life. We've covered a lot of ground today, from disaster relief to powerful cinema and national tragedies. But before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of the top stories that made headlines. And that's a wrap on today's breaking news. We saw President Trump approve vital disaster aid for 6 states. The Venice Film Festival was moved by the powerful docudrama, The Voice of Hind Rajab. The nation is mourning the loss of Charlie Kirk, with a suspect now arrested, and we've explored the potential for unity in the wake of this tragedy. If you want more in-depth coverage and analysis, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button, ring the notification bell, leave a comment with your thoughts on these stories, and follow us on all our social media platforms so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching PumpTalk News.